Magandang araw sa ang panig kayo naroroon sa mundo. Ako po ulit si Terry, aka the T.I S CRIME Investigator. Did you know that in the US alone, every 40 seconds a child becomes missing or is abducted? In Canada, an estimated 45,288 children are reported missing each year and 96,000 in India. Human disappearances have been happening for centuries, but they're especially tragic when the young and vulnerable become missing. With that said, let me show you 12 of the most haunting and solved missing children cases in today's T.I.'s crime list. Lisa was 10 months old when she disappeared on October 4, 2011. Her mom allegedly put her to bed and went to have a few drinks. She had too much to drink that it was believed she blacked out. When Lisa's father got home from work at 3 a.m., Lisa was already gone. Her mother had to face suspicions as she was the only one present at the time of the disappearance, but she has always maintained her innocence. It's been 9 years and the couple is still hoping their baby will come back to them alive. Marjorie disappeared on May 8, 1938 at age 4. She went on a picnic with her family after attending the church to celebrate Mother's Day. As she and her sister Dorothea were walking towards a different direction, her 11-year-old sister left her alone after remembering their parents' warning of walking on their own. As Dorothea informed her parents, they rushed towards the location where Marjorie was left behind by her sister, but she's no longer there and was never seen again. Marjorie's disappearance is considered one of the oldest unsolved cases recorded by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Chiron was only 7 when he disappeared on June 4, 2010, after attending a science fair at an elementary school. Chiron arrived at school with his stepmom and left after watching him walk to his classroom. But as the class began, Chiron was nowhere to be seen, so his homeroom teacher had to report him absent. People suspected his stepmom for his disappearance, but she has maintained she has nothing to do with it. Local and state police, along with the FBI, conducted an exhaustive search for Chiron and launched a criminal investigation, but have not uncovered any significant information regarding the child's whereabouts. To this day, his parents are still waiting for their son to come back, despite the lack of leads on where the kid could have been. Sabrina is one of the youngest missing children, as she was taken from her crib when she was just 5 months old in November 1997. According to her mother, she put Sabrina to sleep and she was still there when she checked on her at midnight. But when she took a look at her again at 7 a.m., her baby was already missing. That's when she called 911. Sabrina's parents were considered possible suspects in the case, as the police didn't find signs of forced entry and no ransom demands. They also noticed that Sabrina's parents showed lack of emotion during their public appearances. They even saw her mother Madelyn smiling during a press conference. Even after a massive search and efforts to find her, until now, nobody knows exactly where she is, or where she has been, or if she's still alive. 8-year-old Cherry disappeared on February 22, 1985, after getting off a school bus with 3 other children. Although the bus stop was just a walk away from their house, Cherry never made it home. When she didn't arrive home later that afternoon, her parents began to look for her. When they couldn't locate her, they then called the police. Some children on the school bus that day later tell authorities that they saw a blue or green van that had been following the bus. Though nobody ever saw Cherry enter or stop at the van, It has been of concern in her disappearance since day one. Her case is one of the most infamous unsolved missing child cases in America, as she's the first missing child to be depicted upon postcards distributed nationwide alongside a headline reading, "Have you seen me?" It's been 35 years, still no arrests have been made, and Terry is still nowhere to be found. Aji was 6 years old when he vanished in January 2009 while playing outside his grandma's home. He was with other kids and he came in to eat dinner but went back out again to play. But 15 minutes after his grandma last checked on him, Aji was gone. Although Aji is 6, his mental capacity is that of a 2-year-old. He also gets scared easily and hides when he's afraid. 11 years later, authorities have yet to uncover any strong leads in the case, but his family is not giving up hope that Aji will come back to them safe and sound. June 28, 1987, an 11-year-old Jennifer left barefoot to buy a candy bar and soda at a 7-Eleven store, which is less than a block away from her home. When she failed to return after 20 minutes, her older brother went to the convenience store to look for Jennifer, but she was nowhere to be found. Although a priest became a person of interest in this case, when authorities searched his yard for evidence, the only item recovered was a bag filled with dirt and decomposed clothing. To this day, whatever happened to Jennifer remains a mystery. Sara, 6 years old, and her 5-year-old sister Marie were outside their home playing with some friends in July 21, 1981. Sara then walked across the street to see a playmate who turned out not to be home. At about 9 p.m., their mother called for her daughters to come inside, but only Marie returned and said she didn't know where her sister was. This prompted her mother and other neighbors to start a search and call the police. Over the years, the police kept searching until 12 years later in 1993, a man told police that his mentally impaired nephew had murdered Sara in 1981. The informant said his brother, the nephew's now deceased father, had buried the body in what was now a vacant lot to protect his son. The lot was excavated later in the year, but nothing was found. Until now, Sara's whereabouts are still unknown. May 11, 2011, when Timothy's father James drove his 6-year-old son to school. His mother Amy, on the other hand, suddenly picked Timothy up from school before classes ended, telling his teacher there was a family emergency. The two visited a zoo and water parks, but 3 days later, Amy was found dead in a motel room of apparent suicide. Timothy, however, was nowhere to be found. She left behind a note saying she had left Timothy in the care of responsible adults who loved him, but he would never be found. Her husband, Timothy's father, later revealed that Amy had been struggling with depression, but he believed she would never hurt her own son. To this day, James believes his son is still alive. On the night of May 3, 2007, Jerry and Kate, both doctors, left their children, including 3-year-old Madelyn, in their hotel room while on a holiday in Portugal. The couple decided to have dinner at a bar meters away from the hotel they were staying. The parents checked on the children throughout the evening until Kate discovered Madelyn was missing at 10 o'clock. After briefly searching the apartment, Kate ran back towards the restaurant screaming, "Madelyn's gone, someone's taken her." The search for Madelyn became the most heavily reported missing person case in modern history. Her parents were at one time considered formal suspects, by the Portuguese police. Throughout the years, the case has been the subject of much speculation and controversy, but as yet, no trace of the youngster has been found.